Hello everybody, today we will study the relevant knowledge of preparation before welding. In the process of welding production, actually the time used for welding only accounts for about 1/3 of total hours, and the rest of the time is used for preparation. Therefore, the preparation before welding should be paid attention. So, what works needs us to prepare before welding? This is what we will learn in this following 5 aspects in this lesson. First, familiar with the process documents. First of all, we must read the construction drawing, part drawings, or assembly drawings to understand what we will need to do, and then find out the characteristics and compositions of structural parts. Then read the welding procedure specification, assembly and welding process, and operation instructions to understand the characteristics of the product. Be familiar with the welding process parameters and determine the assembly and welding subsequence, assembly benchmarks, and assembly methods. Finally, be familiar with the quality inspection standards and related forms, and determine key processes or steps according to quality requirements. Second, preparation of the site, equipment, and related tools. The site preparation is to remove equipment, tools, and sundries not related to welding, as well as inflammable and explosive items site, or keep a sufficient safety distance from the welding location. The site is required to be clean and orderly, which is conducive to work and improve efficiency and accord to the environmental requirements. Equipment preparation is to determine the welding equipment, including welding machine, welding tongs, and welding cables, etc., according to the requirements of the process documents, to check whether each connection part is safe and reliable and whether there is leakage of electricity. Then turn on the welding machine for a trial welding to check whether the device can work normally and stably. Finally, according to the needs of the work, prepare other auxiliary tools such as angle grinders, chisel, hammer, files, steel rulers, welding inspection rulers, etc. Third, the preparation of welding rod. Prepare the corresponding welding rod according to the welding process regulations and bake the welding rod in strict accordance with the drying temperature and drying time. The drying temperature of alkaline electrode is generally 250 to 400 degrees, while that of the acid electrode is generally 75 to 150 degrees, and the holding time is 1 to 2 hours. After drying, the welding rod must be packed in a preheated welding rod installation barrel so that it can be taken at any time to ensure the electrode coating does not regain moisture. Fourth, the preparation of test piece or workpiece. The preparation work mainly includes the following 4 aspects. The first is cutting and relieving process. Usually we can use flame cutting, water cutting, plasma cutting, shearing, sawing, and other methods to carry out cutting, and then perform edge processing on the test piece or workpiece according to the requirements of the process document. It is to process the groove. Generally, the method of flame cutting can be used to process the groove, but the processing accuracy of this method is not high. If the dimensional accuracy of the groove is relatively high, milling, planing, and other methods can generally be used for processing. Steel pipes are generally processed by turning, and pipe valving machines can also be used for processing. The second is pre-treatment. Use tools such as wire brushes or angle grinders to remove rust, oil, and moisture on the surface of the test piece or workpiece, especially the weld position and the area within 20 millimeters on both sides of the weld must be cleaned to expose metallic luster and avoid defects during welding. Then there is the groove treatment. First, clean the oil, rust on the inside of the groove to reveal the metallic luster. Then use a file or angle grinder to process the blunt edge of the groove according to personal operating habits, or the space where that weldment is located positioned to determine the size of the blunt edge. Finally, scribe the workpieces with position requirements to ensure that the geometric tolerance meets the process requirements after assembly. Fifth, preparation for personal protection. Before welding, check the welder's personal protection whether meets the operation requirements. For example, the wearing of work clothes, the selection of insulated shoes and gloves, the selection of protective mask, earplugs, and mask must ensure the above personal protective equipment is intact and reliable. Okay, that's all for today's lesson. Thank you.